Hey folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. I'm here, One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan YouTube channel, also in the Foreign Object Wrestling group, and on Twitter, ironic handle on Twitter. For those of you, that wonder what the hell's going on with me in my life, well, occasionally I like to order things online, and I like to open them for your enjoyment because I know everyone loves suspense. And this is a pro wrestling based. What's in the box? What's in the bag? We actually do have a box. We do have a bag to open. Also, my buddy Shane McKenna over there in the Wrestling Fans Facebook group was demanding that I chime in about the possibility of CM Punk coming back to the WWE after all this time, after all the hard luck and hardships and heartache and heartbreak. So perhaps I'll chime in on that. If you happen to be catching this on Twitter or YouTube, or Facebook, all you have to do, I think you have to go into the actual stream here on YouTube and type in your comment in the live chat. My buddy Michael A.J. Norris was trying to do that a few days ago, but he was leaving comments, I think, in the YouTube comments section, not the live chat section. So you have to do that for me. And here we go. So let's see what's... this is a wrestling-based bag. And then we have the main event of sorts, a wrestling-based box. Now, I know you enjoy this thrill, this excitement of the opening of the bag. Very exciting. Okay, so this is, you might be shocked, this is some type of WWE item, some type of WWE t-shirt, and you're saying, well, gee whiz, Mike, you hate the WWE. I actually do, for the most part. But in celebration of the life lost recently of the great Bray Wyatt, 36 years old, passing away, I did do my part, the little part that I could do to contribute to his family and so forth. I wanted to support his Uncle Howdy, so I bought this wonderful t-shirt, the Uncle Howdy t-shirt. Oh, boy. This virtual background is not really working, so I think I'm going to have to get rid of that. But I'll show the t-shirt again. Let me get rid of the background. That's a picture of Sabu and Taz, by the way, in case you're wondering, from the original Barely Legal show, and a great event that I actually attended as a young man, a young boy. So here we go again. Here's the virtual background-free Uncle Howdy shirt. I actually do like this shirt, and I like the message too. Revel in what you are. So apparently all the proceeds from these t-shirts, I'm assuming that Uncle Howdy goes under the Bray Wyatt merchandise list. I could be wrong. Perhaps it goes to Bo Dallas or whoever, but I wanted to show my support. Nice shirt, actually. Looks like a nice quality. I do like the kind of the soft crush. I'm not sure how to describe it, but like it's kind of like a mix of black and gray and charcoal, and it's not just straight out black. It's got a little bit of flavor to it, and I do like that logo of Uncle Howdy. So hopefully, show that again. Bray Wyatt, his brother Bo Dallas. I hope that they still find a way to keep him. Once he's ready, if he's ready to come back into full-time action. I think Bo Dallas is one of these guys that for whatever reason they didn't really do much with him either. And Bo Dallas was a big NXT star, but never really handled very well on the main roster. He had the thing with Kurt Hennig's son, which actually I kind of like those guys. I'm trying to remember. They had a tag team name like the B team or the underclass or something like that, but I thought they were actually pretty good. Okay, folks. Now we get to our main event. This is a eBay box, and I'm going to open it with my bare hands. It's got some type of confetti-esque packaging, so it's going to make a real mess, basically. Which I'm one of those people that gets. I'm not like this clean, freak or anything, but I hate when stuff kind of makes a big mess of stuff. This is going to be very intricate, I think. This unraveling. Okay, so this is getting interesting, folks. I do like the fact that this individual prepared these things with this bubble wrap. I'm going to keep this bubble wrap. It will be used for my own nefarious purposes. I once knew a person who had a fetish for bubble wrap, believe it or not. This is outstanding. This is a plaque of the Luger era Four Horsemen. God, all this fucking reflection. I'm just trying to do some nice things here. And no matter what you do in this world, something has to screw it up. And this time it's just reflection. And of course, I can't figure out, because I'm looking at myself in the monitor, which side to cover the light source from. And then if you don't have light, nobody can see you. But if you have light, then you get reflection. So, and probably if I took it out of the little plastic, it would help. But I don't want to mar it all up. The Four Horsemen. And that's a picture from the cover of Wrestling 1987 is what that picture comes from. You might be wondering, well, gee whiz, Mike, what's that? Wrestling 1987 was one of the Bill Apter magazines. I believe it was GC London or JC London, Victory Sports. They went by different names. They had some ownership changes over the years. But this was basically a plaque. I'm sure, no offense to the lady that made these, it is a woman, at least that she represents as a woman or identifies as a woman on eBay. And she made that wonderful plaque. Now we have another wonderful plaque. Look at this. This is One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan channel. And you might be wondering, well, gee whiz, Mike, why would you get this Redskins plaque? Well, fine, folks, it's because I was born in the state of Virginia, the suburbs of D.C., and this was the team. First black or African-American quarterback, Doug Williams, in that 1987 season. She did list them based on the regular season year, not the World Championship victory year, which is fine. For instance, when it says 1982, the Redskins actually won the Super Bowl in 83. And 87, they won the Super Bowl in 88. And 1991, the Super Bowl game itself was in 92. So that's one of those things with NFL. I guess NBA and NHL all have the same issue, that their seasons basically go over 2 calendar years. So if you're trying to make a nice little plaque like that, I kind of like what she did. The majority of the season is held in the first year. And only like the playoffs really go into the second year. Now, this stuff is making a goddamn mess everywhere. I don't know if you can see this stuff, but it's like confetti, and she's got all types of crap in this box. It's like paper shavings. It's like you could fucking have a hamster in this thing. So luckily, I brought a trash bag over in case anything like this was happening. Oh, boy. So, folks, here we go. Another wonderful plaque. This one is of Mr. Wyatt himself. Not that I'm the biggest Bray Wyatt fan in the world, but, I guess I was in a Bray Wyatt type of mood because he had just passed away and I wanted to spiritually connect or whatever the fuck. That's what, wrestling fans are like. You know what I mean? And my buddy Jimmy Faluca, we'll give a shout out to him. We will be doing our part 2 tribute to Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. I just listened to Terry Funk's audiobook, I believe from 2006, in its entirety. Mr. Funk, Terry, did not read his own audiobook, but the reader actually did a pretty good job. Check this one out. This is really nice, too. The Fiend. Oh, look at that. Look at it. Let him in and so forth. I think that's what the universal title, isn't it? And so, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that Wyndham Rotundo had the WWE Bruno Belt title, the lineage title, as Bray Wyatt, the original Bray Wyatt character, and then the Fiend was kind of the Universal Champion. And was it those 2 reigns, one each? I can't recall off the top of my head, but maybe I just did. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's anything else in this thing. So much goddamn confetti. I'm going to be seeing this fucking confetti for the rest of my life. Okay, so I do appreciate her, putting the extra effort in, but now I'm a fucking mess. And I believe that's all that's in the box. So we have 2 more of these wonderful plaques. And now I have to find a spot to hang these things. The Road Warriors, as you know, I'm a big advocate. My friend Jay Carpentier always mocked me and mocked the Road Warriors. Thought I was an idiot, Mark, for liking the Road Warriors so much, but I always did. I once hosted a online dream tag team tournament in one of these Facebook wrestling groups, and I had the Road Warriors winning the tournament over the Hollywood Blondes in the final. Kind of did a King Kong versus Godzilla finish, if you know what that means. And Jay was very upset with me that the Road Warriors won my fictional tag team tournament. But it's okay, Jay. We're above that now, aren't we? Let's see. Got all this stuff. Oh my goodness, all this crap. Like I said, I give her credit. This wonderful eBay salesperson didn't include anything. Often, when I send people stuff, if I remember, which is I usually do, I send them a little thank you note, which also happens to list all my YouTube pages. And you might be wondering, well, gee whiz, Mike, what are those YouTube pages? Of course, the one that we're on now, One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan. One Man in the Camera Films is another channel I host that's been doing quite well. That's got my own original films and short films and Messier mantras. And also One Mike Messier has my Mike's Instant Movie Reviews. And One Artist Mike Messier has my art. So there you fucking go, folks. What an exciting situation. Today is Thursday. I'm doing some prep work for the weekend. It's really hard to get things done on a Friday these days. So as far as like phone calls and appointments, oh yes, this one was actually supposed to be it was supposed to be a gift for my friend for his engagement party. But the box arrived on Thursday afternoon, and I was already headed en route to the party. I had to give him a substitute gift, which I did. And so this is probably, if he does get married to this woman, if it does happen, which I hope it does, she seems like a very nice person. If things go as planned, that'll probably be one of their wedding gifts, this Killer Bees thing, because he's a big Killer Bees advocate. My buddy Chris Anino does the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame and also the Duos Hall of Fame, the Tag Team Hall of Fame, of which I'm an advocate of. I think I'm actually on the board, for whatever that's worth. And his lovely bride to be, the mob maiden Marcia Maraschino. Very exciting that they're getting married. So hats off. My buddy Jimmy, going through some hard times, if you will, pulling for him. He'll be here to help me do the Terry Funk tribute show, Bray Wyatt tribute show. I think we're rescheduled for the 20th. If you guys have any, things to say, if you want, okay, my buddy there, Shane McKenna, Wrestling Fans Facebook group, just the 2 words, Wrestling Fans. Look for the one, I think, with about 44,000 members at this point. Shane was wondering, will CM Punk go back to the WWE? My thoughts and feelings. Hey, I really wouldn't be surprised, Shane. I would not be surprised. But the question is, would I be excited if CM Punk showed up in WWE? And I think I would. I mean, I definitely tune in. But then you always have to, like, for instance, do you know what reminds me of, buddy? Remember when Bret Hart came back to the WWE after the whole, he had a stroke because of the kick from Goldberg. He and Vince McMahon were not in good terms. The death of his brother, of course. The way that Bret was handled after the Survivor Series or at the Survivor Series 97. So after all the stuff we heard Bret Hart talk about the WWE, he kind of pops up there. I think it was in 2010. He went up against his return on Raw, went against TNA Wrestling's first 3-hour show where they brought in Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, the Nasty Boys, and a bunch of other people. Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, I think. So it really felt like the WWE just kind of brought in Bret to screw with TNA's screwing with them, And They had a match, Bret Hart versus, Vince McMahon. Of course, Bret was not really up for wrestling. He had this horrible stroke. So they had to play kid gloves with him. He even got involved in some big tag team match against the Nexus, but nobody could really touch his face. They couldn't. It's like he could wrestle, but he couldn't take any bumps. So all his matches, all of Bret's matches, were very one-sided. And I remember even I, watching the match at WrestleMania that year, Bret versus Vince, actually felt sympathy for Vince because Bret was just tooling him the whole time. And of course, his family came in. And my big question is, do any of these family members have a set of fucking balls that they're going to take a cheap shot on Vince for real, like really pop him in the eye, hey, you killed our brother, or whatever the thought would be. But none of them did. None of them had the fucking balls. They all played nice. They all played soft. And that was that. So I just remember that was like, it really felt like anticlimactic and almost disingenuous. It really felt like if anything in life we could depend on, it was that Bret Hart hated Junior McMahon, hated Triple H, hated Shawn Michaels. And then it all went to so much shit, didn't it? I kind of hope that CM Punk doesn't come back to the WWE. But I mean, if you look at his recent history, about a year before he went to AEW, he did that TV show, that live, whatever the fuck it was, Velocity or Sunday Night's Main Event, whatever the hell it was, with Renee Paquette and all the other people. And I think Booker T was on that show. All the people on that show, Soraya or Paige, Samoa Joe, they all ended up over on AEW. So my feeling is, I really wouldn't be surprised if CM Punk came back, Shane. And would I watch? Yeah, I'd tune in to see what the hell happens. But I think for me, at least, there would be a level of disappointment and just a level of kind of another worm crawls on his belly back to Vince's pocketbook, and Vince, look, I'm not trying to put the kibosh on Vince, but he's getting older and so forth. And, it is what it is. So, and Triple H, they couldn't even do a CM Punk versus Triple H match because, unfortunately, and I do feel bad, Triple H has had that heart fibrillator in his chest now. So I don't quite know what else to say about it. Shane, would I be surprised? Would we see CM Punk versus Roman Reigns? I don't even think, to be honest, that's not a match that I'm particularly wanting to see because that Roman Reigns would just win. And so I'd rather, somebody suggested, I think it was Brian Last on the Cornette podcast. See, at least with me, I give people credit. If other people have ideas that I don't, I give them credit. I'm pretty sure it might have been Conrad Thompson, now that I think about it, with Jeff Jarrett on My World. I believe it was Conrad, who I've interviewed on Messier Mantra. You can watch that on this channel. But Conrad Thompson suggested, CM Punk coming in to challenge Roman Reigns, and Shane McKenna suggested that as well. So we'll see. But I just think, seeing CM Punk eat a pin to Roman Reigns is not of interest to me. I'd rather see CM Punk against Cody Rhodes, which I think was what Conrad suggested. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, kind of in the two prodigal sons of WWE, fight for the biggest role of a belly crawler, the worm of the year. So that's it, folks. MikeMessier.com. All my wonderful books are on there. If you've been commenting and I haven't seen your comment, it's because, like I said, I think you have to go to the actual YouTube live chat. So I'm just trying to help. Anyway, guys, it's only Thursday, so get your weekend plans going and have a wonderful time. I don't think there's any big pay-per-views this weekend. We're kind of finally done. There's a huge UFC event that I'll be watching and so forth and so on. And Nun 2 is hitting the theaters, so I'm sure I'll do a review of that over on One Mike Messier. All right, gentlemen, have a wonderful day, and thanks for tuning in. Goodbye. Goodbye.